Tender Boy starts with a nod to two great songwriters, Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash. Were they influential during this album's writing process? I don't think Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan were influential in this album. The reason why those two names got brought up is because I was trying to write my verse, and I'd actually written a 16-bar verse, and I was in the studio over in this little corner where Dave Cobb has all these couches set up and books and all this cool shit, and I didn't know where to start, and I was kind of stuck, and we had the hook, but I was stuck for a while, and I looked down, and on the cover of one of these old music, it was about, I don't know if it was about RCA or Nashville or what it was about, because I didn't read it, which now I probably should. But on the cover of the book was Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash. And so I was like, Bob Dylan. And I kind of had melodies in my head. And it just happens. It's kind of like just the first thing that comes to your mind. I wish Bob Dylan had a problem with me. And that was like, don't know why that came up, don't know where it came from, and then that started it. And then from there on, Johnny Cash was right there. So that started my whole verse. And then we liked the hook so much, and the rest of the verse is really, it's dope, but it was just really long. And we wanted to get to that hook, but we really loved that intro. I thought maybe it was lame. I was like, this is a stupid opening line. Dave was like, that's a great opening line. I wish Bob Dylan had a problem with me. Eat a couple caps, squash the beef, like eat mushrooms. I want to just eat mushrooms with Bob Dylan because he's got beef with me. It's like, that was just cool. So when they were like, all right, cool, that's a good idea, then we're like, well, let's just chop it in half. Like, let's chop it like to just the first quarter or whatever. Yeah, so that's how that came about. And we listened to a lot of Bill Withers. We listened to other artists that influenced the album. Definitely, we listened to a lot of Bill Withers. We listened to a lot of Sly and Robbie, Curtis Mayfield, this guy Hailu Murgia, which is like this Ethiopian jazz. And it was all stuff from the 60s and 70s that you'd play on vinyl that like just had so much soul and realness and wasn't just this perfect, you know, I don't know, there's just, we'd kind of done it all, and we'd kind of recorded music every way that you could. And we remember back to some of our favorite music and maybe just where we were, and it was the times that we got in the studio and recorded it live, and some of our favorite albums, and what we're really listening to right now. We're all, just for some reason, if you go through our playlist of what we're listening to, everything stops about 1970, 1980. So there's a lot of stuff that we wanted to just get back to that, the soul of the music. Then it doesn't matter if it's perfect, and just the feel. I'm not worrying about anything else.